Okay, today we are going to start a topic that is a transformer. Transformer, we'll write the transformer. So transformer is a static device which transfer energy from one circuit to other circuit, and it is very important element in the power system. If you look at any skeleton of the power system, suppose that is a generating plant, generate the electricity at 11 kV volt, or it may be a 13.5 kV. The voltage is the power is get transmitted through a transmission line distribution network to the utilization section. So the transformer is used to increase or decrease the voltage, or to boost up the voltage and to step down the voltage. So there is a one station transformer, and from the station transformer the voltage has been increased from 11 kV to 132 kV. Now it may be somewhere one more transmission line where the transmission voltage is increased, is a 400 kV transmission voltage, or it may be a 440 kV or 400 kV transmission line. Now this again is the voltage is stepped down with the help of a step down transformer. It is 400 by, it may be a 33 kV or 220 kV transformer or substations are there. Again, this transmission line, it is in the distribution section where a 33 kV line is converted into the 11 kV lines, or directly it may be a 400 volt, 415 volt. So if you look at to the skeleton of power system, that is a power systems is there. So it consists of generation here. This part is generation. The second part is a transmission network. So this is the transmission line. And after transmission line, there is a distribution network. So start from generating station to the distribution network, there are many transformer or series of the transformers are connected. Therefore, we can say that the transformer is a backbone of electrical power system. Okay. So first of all, what we are going to do, we are going to undertake and we are going to discuss the construction of the transformer and the application of the transformer. So the basic application of the transformer is to increase and decrease the voltage of the transmission line or in the power system. So there are many applications depend upon the controls applications. It may be the measurement applications. So we can say that the transformer is for basic purpose of the transformer the basic purpose of transformers are, first is to increase and decrease voltage level. So the voltage level of the circuit can be increased and decreased very easily in the AC system. No doubt it is our AC generation, and that is the AC generations are there. The second, it is used for matching of impedance in electronics circuit and control circuit also. The third application of the transformer is for isolation purposes. So for isolation in the electrical circuit, isolation into voltage levels we can use are transformers. Now the transformer is maybe used in conjunction with the measuring instrument. So it is can be used as an extension of measuring ranges. So whatever the, because the for AC ammeter and voltmeter, we can measure up to the 600 volt with the help of voltmeter. We are using in the say our say labs over there. It may be ammeter and voltmeter. Volt ammeter may be used up to the 0 to 10 ampere, 0 to 10 ampere only. But if the voltage is more than 600 volt and current is more than 10 ampere, we can use a voltage transformer, a potential transformer, we can use the CT current transformer, and with the help of current transformer and potential transformer, the ranges of the instrument can be increases. So these are the some basic application of transformer. First of all, we will take the construction of a single phase transformer, and the construction of single phase transformer, we can go for the construction of three phase transformers. Okay, so now we'll use one more. So first is the transformer construction. Transformer construction. So transformer is having two elements. That is, one is the core, and second part is the windings or electric windings. So transformer, the type of construction, first construction is core construction, core type construction, and second is shell type construction. Shell type construction. So in transformer, there are two general classification. One is the core type and second is the shell type. And these construction is depend upon the application, size and capacity of the transformer. Generally, for all small single phase transformer are the shell type transformer, whereas all three phase transformer are the core type transformer. Distribution transformers are the core type transformer, whereas the single phase transformer is the shell type transformer. So it is made up of the core. This core is made up of cold roll grain oriented, cold roll grain CRGO, cold roll grain oriented, and the direction of orientation in such a way that it reduces the reluctance of the magnetic path, and this reduction in the magnetic reluctance, in the reduction of magnetic path reduces the reluctance of magnetic circuit. So there are two circuits. One is the magnetic circuit and second is the electrical circuit. So first is the magnetic circuit, magnetic core. So there is a one magnetic circuit, and second is the electrical circuits. So single phase transformer, first we will take the core type transformer. Core type. In core type transformer, the core silicon iron, it is formed in such a way that there are L-type core are used, or L-type strips are used, or it may be some single pieces are there. And in this case, the joints are made in such a way that there should not be a bend over this one, and it will give the minimum reluctance, or it will avoid the air gap between the magnetic circuit. Okay, so it may be a some C and I type cores are there, laminated, so strips are there. This is one C type and second is I type. Okay, for a small transformer, but for the higher capacity, some 2 kVA, 5 kVA single phase transformers are there. They are joined at 45° to avoid the uniform air gap between the joints of cores are there. And this core are laminated. So just I will draw one more figure. Say this is the construction of, first we will take the core construction. So this is the, say, somewhat three-dimensional view. Okay, so this is the somewhat. So this is the core over this one, and from this core, the winding is carried out on the first limb. On the first limb, some winding, electrical windings, conductors of a proper size is carried out on the both side. So here the winding is surrounded with the core. Windings, so core is surrounded by this winding. So the winding which is connected to the source, the winding which is connected with the source is called as a primary winding, and the winding which is connected with the load, it is called as a secondary winding. Okay, so this is the secondary winding, and whereas the winding which is connected is called as a primary winding. So this is the core type construction. In case of shell type construction, the advantage is that, now see here, in such a one, it produces the magnetic flux. It produces magnetic flux, and because of if there is a this such type of joints are there, it will have a air gap, and when there is a air gap in the magnetic core, the reluctance offered by magnetic core is very air gap is very. So reluctance S is equal to L upon mu 0 mu R A. So A is the cross-sectional area, mu 0 is the relative absolute permeability, and mu R is the relative permeability of magnetic material. So generally we are using the CRGO of high permeability material to reduce the reluctance of magnetic path. But if there is a small gap is there, a small air gap is there, definitely the reluctance offered at this point is very high. So if you use such type of joints at 45°, it does not offer any type of air gap, and the reluctance of magnetic path will be smaller, and whatever the number of flux produced by the primary winding links with the secondary windings. So whatever the number of flux produced by the primary winding, it links with the secondary winding. Okay, but no doubt some of the flux are not following the intended path, whatever the path is shown for the magnetic material. Some of the magnetic flux created, and it will make the some short circuited path, and this is called as a leakage flux, and this flux is called as a leakage flux. To reduce that leakage flux, the shell type transformer for a single phase small transformers we are using. So shell type construction is beneficial. So in case of shell type construction, say this is the central limb, this is one limb, and this is second limb. So instead of using two limb for the winding purposes, we can use only a single limb at the center, and this is the outer limbs are there. So this is the construction of shell type transformer. In case of shell type transformer, the primary winding and secondary windings both are placed on the central limb. See that this is the width of say it is A, then it is the half of this one. So or it is a say A, and it is twice A, it is a double. Similarly, it is this distance, the distance or the dimension is double to the upper half side of the two limbs are there. So now here the windings, the primary windings and secondary windings, both are on the central limb. So this is your primary winding, the winding which is connected with the source. The winding which is connected with the source is the primary winding. So this winding is connected with the source, AC source. So it is a primary winding. Whereas the secondary winding is on the same limb. The secondary winding also on the same limb, and it is connected with the load. The secondary winding is connected with the load. Just I'm taking a very rough figure for the point of view. So here, whatever the flux linkage, it will follow the flux. Half of the flux come from here, and half of the flux come from here. So definitely the cross-sectional area of this section is smaller than the, or is half the cross-sectional of the center limb. So when we are placing two conductors, or when we are placing the two windings, one on the same limb, the leakage flux will be smaller, and hence it has an advantage that it will have small magnetic flux linkages in the primary winding and secondary winding. So this is one more advantage in the construction of shell type transformer. So core type transformer, where the winding is carried out on two central limb, two separate limb. This is one limb. This is limb number 1, and limb number 2. Limb number 2. So under such condition, the primary winding and secondary winding is on the center. Two different limbs are there, and whereas in the shell type construction, a common limb, the central limb, which carries primary winding as well as the secondary winding. So the central limb dimension is double to the outer one. Now one more thing is that now it become two type of circuits are there. This is the magnetic circuit. We can say that this is the magnetic one, and this is the electrical circuit. Is a electrical circuit. Okay. So there is two circuit. One is the magnetic circuit, and there is a electrical circuit. Now magnetic circuit and electrical circuit, it is electrically isolated. Similarly, there is no difference. There is no electrical connection between the primary winding and secondary winding. Okay. So there is no electrical connection at all in the primary winding and secondary winding. So primary winding and secondary winding is electrically isolated. So here, whatever the flux produced by the primary winding, which links to the secondary winding, and it, because of the electromagnetic induction, and power is going to transfer with the secondary winding. Now here, the electrical connection, there is no electrical connection between the primary and secondary winding. So we can represent it by some symbolic one. Say this is the winding, which is we will say this is the primary winding. Okay, and it is separated by the core, that is the magnetic material. There is no electrical connection between them. So this is the core, it represents the core, and again this is the winding which represents the secondary winding. So either it is a bidirectional element, we can operate in any side. If you connect the primary winding, if you connect the source at this side, you will get the some voltage on the secondary side, and so vice versa. So it's any direction we can operate it, and it will give the same characteristic, and it's a working operation. So this is the symbolic representation of transformer. Either it is a shell type transformer or either it is a core type transformer. So it represents only two terminal, phase and neutral. This is phase and neutral. Again, it is a phase and neutral. So it is a symbolic representation of single phase transformer. Okay. Now transformer in the skeleton of the power system diagram, it may be represented as this is the representation of the transformer. Three phase transformers are there. Only we have to write HV winding and LV winding. So by this way, say this is the high voltage winding and this is the low voltage winding. So it represents that the transformer, it is connected to the high voltage side and it is connected to the low voltage side and vice versa if you are going to change this one. Okay. So this is the some constructional viewpoint of transformers is there. Now, the transformer is used to step up the voltage and step down the voltage because of the number of turns. If you are using the different number of turns in the primary side and different number of turns on the secondary side. Now, next we will see the working operation of a single phase transformer. So working principle. Transformer is going to work on electromagnetic induction. And therefore, it is necessary that the transformer should be connected with the AC source. Okay. So first of all, we will see the basic of electromagnetic induction. There are two coils are there. Coil A, it is connected with the DC source. Instead of one DC source, we will put some resistance in series with the coil. Is a variable resistance. Say coil A, and coil B is near to the coil A, but it is connected with the galvanometer. It is connected with some galvanometer. Now, as soon as we switch on the DC supply, it produces some magnetic flux. This flux linked with the near coil, okay, and it will give some deflection. It will give some deflection in one side. So it indicates that there is a EMF induced in the coil. But once the DC source is connected, your pointer, galvanometer pointer, come to the zero value. It means that the EMF induced is momentarily and EMF goes to the zero value. Now, if you vary this resistance, this variable resistance, if you vary that resistance, then we will find that there is a continuous increase and decrease in the voltage. So why it is increase and decrease in the voltage? Because there is a change in magnetic flux. So the EMF induced, it is called as a statically, because both coils are stationary. Therefore, EMF induced is equal to E is equal to minus N d phi by dt. So where N is the number of turns in the coils, isn't it? N is the number of turns in the coil, and d phi by dt is nothing but the rate of change of flux linkages. So EMF induced is equal to rate of change of flux linkages. Okay, so E is equal to minus N d phi by dt, where N is represent the Lenz law. It opposes the cause of production. Okay, so this is the we can say that EMF induced in the coil. Now, The two coils are stationary in our transformer also. Construction, that there is no rotating part, and only it transfer the energy from one circuit to the other circuit without changing the frequency. The frequency is remain as it is, because whatever the flux is there, it will be there. So now say this winding, these two coils. Now one coil is connected with the AC source, so no need to use a variable resistance. So only we will put the variable AC source is there. So V is equal to V maximum sine omega t. So the flux is also get changing with respect to the sine omega t. So EMF induced in the coil also be the alternating. EMF induced in the coil B will be the again alternating. So here say that E is equal to E maximum sine omega t. It's a cos omega t. Say for example, it is a cos omega t. So under such condition, because d phi by dt rate of change of flux linkages with respect to time, and here we found that the frequency is same. So our point of consideration is that the transformer is a static device. Okay. Second, it is used to decrease or increase voltage level. Okay. And whereas the frequency remain unchanged. So the frequency of the system, either whatever we are getting the voltage on the secondary side will remain same. So this is the introduction of transformer. So introduction of the transformer is consist of transformer is a backbone of electrical power system, because we are using a number of transformer right from generating station to the utilization section. The construction of transformer is a two type. One is the core type construction and second is the shell type. In core type, winding core is surrounded by two windings, whereas in shell type transformer, the central limb or the core winding is surrounded by core. So here this is the winding and it is surrounded by the core. For single phase small transformer, shell type transformer are used because the advantage is that in case of shell type transformer, the leakage flux are small, and transformer is going to work on Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, that is statically EMF induced, because both primary winding and secondary windings are stationary. So EMF induced is statically EMF induced, and therefore it is necessary that the flux produced by the primary winding should be alternating. So transformer work on AC supply only, it does not work on the DC supply. And transformer does not change the frequency, whatever the frequency of primary winding or the source is there, the same EMF induced, same frequency EMF induced in the secondary winding. So this is the say some introduction of transformer. So in the next lecture, we will see the basic equation, EMF equation of transformer. No doubt it is common for the single phase transformer and single phase transformer in the core type and shell type, as well as only the some few variation we can use the equation for the three phase transformer.